What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Friday the 14th podcast. One of your hosts, Emo Sawal One Franco.
Wednesday the 12th podcast.
Wednesday the 12th.
I'm your second half. Always good to be here with the lovely, most beautiful looking man on planet Earth, Franco. Man, I'm Matty Fresh. I'm not as good looking, but
You're very sexy.
oh, thank you. I'm gonna hold that. I'm gonna take that comment to the grave. I'm gonna remember it 30 years from now and be like, I remember one day Franco called me sexy. When my kids are like, "You're old."
I do it a lot, man.
They're like, "Oh, you're old." I'm gonna be like, Franco thought I was sexy.
How you doing, man? How's it going?
I'm doing good, man. I'm living life. I'm breathing. I'm purchasing nostalgic action figures, which is it's a really scary road to go down.
Hey, man, life's too short.
You're right, man, and it's just like I'm holding on to that inner child who didn't have to live in today's society, and you know, just movies, man. They just said this month I've been getting beat up because it's like every week I'm there.
Man, this year has been a pretty good release for movies so far.
Oh my gosh,
the
theaters are back.
What we had so far, we had Megan, Ant-Man, Scream 6 that we're talking about today,
Creed 3.
Creed 3.
We still got Shazam, John Wick 4 coming out. We got Evil Dead Rise, Rain. Oh man, we just it don't stop, bro. The movies are just bah bah bah. Like you thought you were gonna take a day off? Bah, no, you're not.
Give me your money.
I'm more famous than the popcorn guy at my local theater.
The popcorn guy though, he's about to be at a wrestling show next week. Here in
What? He was in a Jimmy Kimmel skit and was at the Oscars.
Yeah, at the Oscars. Did you watch the Oscars?
I didn't watch them. I only saw the recaps and the people winning.
Yeah, I really didn't watch them either. But
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once deserved every award it got. Every award it got.
It got like what, 3, 4?
It got everybody in the cast pretty much got an award, man.
It's pretty good.
Like, yes, I don't want to mess with the names, but I think it's Michelle Yeoh and Jamie Lee Curtis. Something Kwan. I think it's like Keloy Kwan. I don't want to pronounce his name wrong. I only know him as Data from the Goonies, Short Round from Indiana Jones, and he's magnificent in that role too. So, and then Brendan Fraser won an award, very well deserved.
Yeah, for The Well.
Yes, I just saw that movie the other day.
I haven't seen it yet. I've been wanting to though. But today we are reviewing a new theater movie that just released Friday or Thursday. One of these. Scream 6.
Wednesday, if you went to the 3D release.
Wednesday.
Yeah, the cool kids went there.
Did you go?
No, I didn't go see the 3D release.
I didn't go either. Yeah. I don't watch movies in 3D since I have glasses.
Nah, I can't stand it. It messes with my eyes and it's just ugh.
Yeah.
Half the time it's the most random stuff that's 3D too.
Yeah, it's not even like the good scenes.
Yeah, it's like probably wasn't any ghost scene. It was like a character farting. It's like, oh yay.
3D. Yeah. But before we start, you can give us a follow on Instagram, Friday the 14th Podcast, or Emo Sawal Productions, and on YouTube if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button right now. And yeah, we're live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. to review another horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
But we are reviewing Scream 6 today, which just released. New York, New Rules. It was directed by, I can't pronounce the last name, Matt Bettinelli Olpin and Tyler Gillette. And stars Courtney Cox, Melissa Barrera, Jenna Ortega, Jasmine Savoy Brown, Mason Gooding, Skeet Ulrich, Roger Jackson as the voice of Ghostface, Dermot Mulroney, Jack Champion, Josh Segarra, and a whole bunch of other people, including Hayden I don't know how to pronounce the last name.
Panettiere.
Panettiere. I always say penitentiary.
Panettiere.
Panettiere. But let's see the budget of this film. I can never find on IMDb for whatever reason. Yeah, that's wrong. Budget was 35 million. Opening
35 million.
so far as a I don't know. So far it says here 44 million
Wow.
or 48 million. My bad.
Ooh.
Oh, that's like current like today, or if that's just for yesterday or whatnot. But
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, just one of those because I know it's that this movie is ranking in dough right now, man.
yep,
It,
breaking in that
it's
dough.
it's floating on clouds of cash.
But is that all I usually cover? I can't remember. I guess we get into ratings. That's all I usually cover.
Usually do a little read through your synopsis.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's what I was thinking of. Sorry, I went all the way back up. Synopsis. In the next installment, the survivors of Ghostface killings leave Woodsboro behind and start a fresh chapter in New York City. That's some basic
I
ass shit.
actually, you know what's crazy? The one under it is actually written by Paramount. Following the latest Ghostface killings, the four survivors leave Woodsboro behind and start a fresh chapter in Scream 6. Melissa Barrera, Jasmine Savoy Brown, Mason Gooding, Jenna Ortega, Hayden Panettiere, and Courtney Cox return to their roles in the franchise alongside Jack Champion, Henry, and a bunch of names. Yeah, that was actually Paramount being like, yeah, this is what we want y'all to read. It's like,
And
calm
they
down,
read
Paramount, damn it,
something
chill
else.
out. Yeah.
But ratings, man. I am interested to see what you rate this on a scale of 1 to 5 Danny Trejo slash machetes
Woo! I've never been
slash
so damn
Ghostface.
disappointed in a Scream film in my entire life, bro. So this baby gets zero point 0.5 on my machete meter.
Damn,
This was
so
a
low.
horrible film. It should have been a lot. And I know y'all fans are gonna come for me. I do not care. Y'all like this because they fit. I'm kidding. 5 machetes, homie. This baby gives
5.
machetes. I enjoyed the hell out of this film, dude. I really like this film. I mean, if I'm hating on, it, I'm gonna give it a solid 5. I just this it brought the heat, man.
So if we're to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, you would give it a solid 10, a perfect 10.
Nah, I'd give it a 8 or 7.
But you'll give it a 10.
Nah, I can't give it a 10 out of 10, bro. I'm giving it a 5. 5 machetes. Now we're transferring that 5 to a larger scale. I got more to work with. You got to understand when you tell me out of 10, I'm thinking in the aspect of okay, now there's more to like really like get into before I give it like because I can't say like the movie 42, the Jackie Robinson. I give that 10 out of 10, but I can't put that in the ranks of 42 because it's like it didn't move me the way 42 moved me. You know what I mean? Like it didn't. So it's like I can't be like yeah, because then a 10 out of 10 to me is like everything's great.
I think
Like
we're
storyline's awesome. Like character development is great. This one, for what it is a 5 out of 5 because it's a slasher film, and it like just it had me like clenched ass cheeks. Like who is it? Who is it? And every one of my guesses being wrong.
okay. I was on the same podcast when they reviewed it on Monday, and out of 10, because that's what they rated there, I gave it 9.5.
9.5.
Yeah,
That's
because a 10 to me, Scream the OG, it it's almost as good. I think the reason I give it a 10 is because of nostalgia, but I think I ranked it just a little bit lower, so I'll still be number
yeah.
one.
And as
But
I said before, out of a 10 scale, I give it an 8. So I mean,
but
I still think that's worthy.
out of 5, I was thinking about it like the rest of the week. I think I'm gonna give it 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah,
Okay.
4.5. Still not bad, rewatchable. I enjoyed the fuck out of it. But yeah, a lot the killings were amazing in it.
Oh, big nut.
Big nut.
Um, I just I gotta get that steelbook now. For this one, I don't even know if it's a pre-order. But you already know I'm gonna put
But
that in my bag once it does.
before we get into it, So y'all know right now, spoilers ahead. Do not continue watching or listening if you do not want to be spoiled. If you don't give a
Yeah.
fuck like I do, continue watching or listening.
But if you give a fuck like I do, you turn this off right now. You go hide under your bed and you throw on some earphones. All right? Because you don't want to hear this. But then again, if you don't, like Franco does, sit down, grab a snack.
Spoilers. Read that little
Spoilers.
tagline. Spoilers.
Left and right. Gonna be punching you in the face, coming at you in 3D.
So let's get right into it.
All right.
Last week I was thinking about it. I don't know if you agree with me, but every opening scene of Scream is iconic for the most part. Part three I
Yes.
can't remember much of, but
Yes.
they always have a way of having an opening scene that's intriguing, and then it's the fucking title, and then we get into the story. Um, Scream 5 last year was the first. What happened?
I'm thinking of the opening scene of this one, and I'm
Uh,
getting
uh,
sad.
5 last year got me because it was the first time the person at the beginning didn't die. So I was thinking last week,
Oh.
how are they gonna change it up and keep it iconic? And I was thinking, I was like, you know what? It would be pretty cool if they have the reveal, and then the whole time you're just thinking, oh, who? It's that person. Don't trust them. Don't trust them. Stop, stop trusting him. And then whenever we got the opening scene, I was like, oh, thank God they didn't do that because I would have been so pissed off if they did that. But the opening scene was had Samara Weaving in it, like you said.
Samara Weaving. That's a Scream Queen in my opinion. Samara
Yeah,
Weaving.
but she was in it. She, I don't know if you want to go all the way through it or what. You
That
want to
makes
break
me
down scene
sad.
by scene for it?
Well, I mean, we can run through it. It's you want to run through it, or you want me to run through it? Just say what happened
Um,
exactly.
you can run through it real quick.
Yeah, it's basically start off the scene in a bar slash restaurant. She's sitting at the bar counter, waiting for a blind date or somebody that she met through a dating app. They're texting her, "Hey, can't find the place." Leads to her calling them. Oh, them giving her a call, and once that call, once they ask if they can call, you know what's about to happen. They end up saying they don't know, they can't find it. They feel like an idiot. It's funny because the voice, if you listen to the voice, it sounds like McLovin. It sounds like Christopher Mintz, the guy talking. Um, and so she goes outside, and then she's like, "Yeah, I'm out here. Oh, I still can't see you." Forgive me for saying this, but the dumbass goes into an alley because they're like, "Oh, I'm in this alley,"
Oh, she's
and
also a professor, a movie
a
professor of
film,
horror. Yeah,
yeah, of horror film, and she's talking about like the type of horror that she likes to her class to review and stuff like that. And she's also, I think maybe she's more Australian. Was he Australian or British? She's like, I think she was
yeah,
Australian.
Australian.
She was a mix. Um, and again, I'm so mad because is Samara Weaving really, guys? Um, so yeah, so she goes into this alley, doesn't see this guy, and then I think what he pops out, right? Like he's in another part of the alley because this alley kind of it's straight, and then there's like a dent in it,
Yeah,
like
it goes
a
like perpendicular or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, and so she looks at that, and he comes out, Ghostface does, and he like kind of tells her, like first rule is you never pick up the phone or like never answer the phone, and schools her like, yeah, you fucking dumb professor, you should have known that, and then stabs the shit out of her, and you're like, what? And I'm sad because I'm like, really, Samara Weaving is just the killer. She's the Drew Barrymore of this film, and I was kind of sad, but I was like, you know what? Hey, get the bag. So she gets stabbed to death like crazy, and then you're like, dude, introduce Ghostface, but no, the man reveals himself, and who is it? Flash fucking Thompson from Spider-Man. You see what happens whenever Peter loses the identity at the end of No Way Home? Nobody knows that he exists, and Flash becomes a fucking killer and studies film. It's crazy. Yeah, so yeah, you get the face reveal, and you're like, what the hell? It's too early. But as we're gonna continue, that's the start. That's what you get.
Yeah, he takes
Um,
off the mask,
yes.
puts the robe and everything in his backpack, walks out
Hmm.
the alley like nothing happened, like a
Yep.
regular person, and goes home, at his apartment. Yeah, I guess he has a roommate or a friend
He
there, and
crosses paths with Tara at one point,
yeah, that's right. He cross paths
asking for
with her,
Sam.
and he gets back to his apartment. His friend calls him, and he's looking for his friend pretty much because he thinks his friend's not there. Turned out to be
Yeah.
Ghostface, and I love this opening scene so fucking much. The Ghostface plays hot and cold with him. He
Yeah.
goes, looks for his friend, and he keeps getting hotter. Opens up the refrigerator, and his friend is
Chopped up.
in the refrigerator. Yes, I didn't want to say my
Yeah.
orders in the room, but yes, and
It's Jeffrey Dahmer.
yeah, there you go. That's exactly when I saw it. I was like, yep. Um, but yeah, and then Ghostface pops out, kills him, and everything. I think that whole opening sequence was amazing.
Yes.
The reason him and his friend wanted to do it was to redo like the films and all that. He killed the professor Samara Weaving because I think she gave him a failing grade, right? Is what his excuse.
Yes. And yeah, that's what he says. Like the bitch gave me something something on my review. Um, but one thing that he does mention though that's kind of key is he does say we're finishing Richie's film.
Hmm.
So these were friends of Richie, and for those of you who've seen, remember our review on Scream 5, Richie and Abby were the killers at the end of that film. Um, and so yeah, he mentions it, and then when he's dying, what did he say? He says like, "What about the film?" And then Ghostface says, "Fuck the," or like what? He's like, "Fuck the film," or he says
Fuck the
something.
films, yeah.
Yeah, and then you're just like, what? And he's wearing like a different Ghostface mask, like it's a kind of like the cover where the
Yeah, like
Ghostface mask is worn.
worn out Ghostface mask.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's opening sequence. Based off that opening sequence, man, that's probably my favorite. I think it beats out Drew Barrymore's scene. Just
Oh
because of
fuck yeah, dude.
the refrigerator scene
I,
and
I'm
Samara
I'm
Weaving.
yeah, and then it just plays with you too. It's like, oh, we just revealed the killer. I'm like, oh, they're going that route, And then you even have him say, "Hey, Tara," and she's like, "Hey," and then you're like, "Oh shit!" So yeah, he's the killer. He knows Tara. And then he's like, "Where's your sister? I thought she was gonna come." And then she's like, "Well, I don't know. That's not my job to invite her. That's yours." And you're like, "Oh, he's after both of them." And then just to find out that he's not even the ghost face, and him neither his friend. It was just, oh man, it was so good. To me, yes, it definitely beats out the Drew Barrymore one. Like this was good. This was great.
What else did you want to get into about it?
I want to get into the fact that um, no, I was gonna say there's discount Evan Peters in this film.
That's exactly what they said. It's like I don't know why they just didn't get Evan Peters. I'm like, I'm
I
pretty
know.
sure he's
I was
expensive.
like, this is pretty much discount Evan Peters.
I feel like
He's
they
like,
probably wanted to, but then Jenna Ortega's price went all the way up, and they're like, "Fuck, we can't afford him no more."
yeah. It's like, fuck it. We had just enough in the budget, and then Jenna Ortega's like, I just came off a Wednesday, and they're like, oh fucking shit.
What do you think about? How'd you feel that Neve Campbell, Sydney didn't return in this film?
Okay. The story is that she didn't feel that what they were going to pay her was acceptable. Like, she felt in a way she felt it was degrading. Um, Here's the thing. I don't know how Hollywood works, but I am a person who believes that you should know your self-worth. And if Neve Campbell was asking for, X amount of dollars, and they thought, well, you know what, fuck it, we're not going to do that. You got to remember, Neve Campbell is not really making films right now, so you're asking her to, hey, can you get back into the acting mode? I know you're probably living a different life right now, but we need you to come back to get the money, and you're not willing to give these characters the money that they're asking for, especially when you are like multi-billion-dollar companies. It puts a bad taste in my mouth because I'm like, you know what? Maybe she was right in being like, hey, you're not gonna pay me what I'm asking for. It's just that simple. Then I'm not gonna do the movie. And I'm like, hey, know your worth. I mean, Scarlett Johansson sued Disney because they released Black Widow in theaters and on streaming the same day, and Disney told her that they weren't going to do that. And because of that, it cost the movie millions, and she didn't get the bag. And so she sued Disney and won. And it's like, dude, it's because these women know their worth. They know it's like, hey, you want me in the film? So is there a Neve Campbell? I don't feel like there's because I feel like the last movie did a really good job of introducing new characters. So it's what we're expecting for this one. You know, your characters like Sam and Tara and the twins are who you're really focused on. So even though Neve Campbell's Sidney Prescott's absence is felt in the film, I don't feel like it stalled the film from still being able to. Although I have been hearing that they had to change the motive of Ghostface when she said she wouldn't come back. So again, always self-respect, self-worth. Neve, I got no hate, no qualms against you. You do you, but I do hope you return if there is another one. I hope they're able to give you the bag because I know damn well Jenna Ortega's bag must have been like pretty pricey. I mean, you're looking at somebody who's kind of like in the horror genre now, is making TV shows left and right. It's you know, you come on, you
Yeah,
know that her
I was
bag must
thinking
have been.
maybe Jenna Ortega probably signed on for like a multi film deal with them, but I don't know. I agree with you on Eve. I could we could go on and on about that conversation, but I meant more like the character. Did you? I don't think it needed her. Like it didn't need
That's what I'm
Sydney
saying.
because it was in New York. We're already focused on the other ones. Like I didn't really
Exactly.
feel it. Then like if they do a part seven, I don't want her back. Not at this point because
I think because you've grown to know these new characters and
yeah.
you're invested in these new characters, which was the whole point of the last film. Like they said, it's to have the legacy characters return to fill the void, and then introduce the new set. And that's exactly what Scream Five did. So I agree with you on that. As what you're saying right now, you're hitting the points.
If she does return, I would want her to die in part seven. But what else in part six you want to talk about? Like what are some of your favorite scenes?
Oh, dude, one of my favorite deaths in this film. Oh my gosh. Okay. First of all, I want to mention some stuff. Sam's little boyfriend, right? The dude who's just kind of there. I fucking love that dude, and I don't even love him because of this movie. I love him because he played Adrian Chase in Arrow, Prometheus, and he was like one of the most badass villains in that series. Um, and
What season was he on?
I think it's like season 7 or season 6.
Okay, I think I only been up to like
And
four or
and,
five
it, and
seasons.
it's yeah, he's so badass. And then after that, I saw him in Orange Is the New Black, and then after that, I saw him in what did I see him in before Scream 6? It was like right before. Oh yeah, he was in She-Hulk. He was one of the lawyers in She-Hulk, like her group of friends. But I love that guy as an actor, and I just feel like seeing him on screen, I was like, fuck yeah, because he's able to play a part that you're like, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? You know what I mean? Like he has that vibe. And I know he could play the bad guy really well because I saw it in Arrow. That was one of my favorite scenes, man. To be honest with you, dude, it's the death of Anika. Anika is the girlfriend of I don't want to mess up her name either, of Mindy.
Hmm.
And so there's this scene where Ghostface is attacking them in their apartment, and I don't want to call him Adrian Chase. That's not his name. The boyfriend
I think
of
it's
Sam, or Danny.
Danny.
It's Danny. Yeah. So Danny basically he lives in the same apartment complex, but there's this distance between the way the apartment complex is shaped in New York. It's New York. And so he's like, you know what? I'm gonna help him. He opens up his window, um, throws out a ladder. Sam gets across the ladder. Then after Sam, you got Mindy. She gets across the ladder. But Anika's been stabbed. And Ghostface, they've been trying to hold him off with this little dresser. And that motherfucker's kicking. I saw him. I was kind of like, calm the fuck down, bro. Like, damn, that is not your house. But he didn't care. So he's kicking and kicking. And then Anika's crossing, and oh, dude. At first, like I'm always like, if they die, they die. You're just what do you call it, fodder? You're just kill fodder. Like you're just there for a kill. But it's when they start to talk that it hits the heartstrings, because he starts to fucking move the ladder on the other side, and she goes, "I don't want to die. I don't want to die." And then I'm like, why'd you have to fucking, why did you give it character? Don't give it. Now I feel bad because I'm putting myself in the situation. I could just imagine, you know, somebody being like, "I don't want to die. I don't want to die," and then you're like, "Fuck, I gotta make sure they don't die." And then what happens? Ghostface twists the ladder, and this bitch doesn't just fall to her death. She fucking cracks her head on a trash can. That's what got me. Is that you get the cracked head on the trash can and then her face, and later on they show the face too. And I was like, dude, by far, I enjoyed the shit out of that death. Yes, I felt bad, but as soon as I saw the death, I was like, well played, well played. That was really good. That was one of my favorite scenes in the film.
I think my favorite death was the therapist.
You, dude, yes, that was another one of my favorite ones. It's something about. I'm gonna let you explain that. Why
Yeah,
you?
he Ghostface just like pretty much is knocking on the door or whatever, and he sees him, and like he just like glass he breaks through and just grabs him, pulls him a couple times, and then like he stabs him right in the eye, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was a fantastic death, honestly.
There's something to me. You know what? Like, you know what gets me going? You know what turns me on? Face stabs. For some reason, it's one of the reasons I like Terrifier. Like getting stabbed in the face, it just seems like the cruelest thing to do. Because remember, you're getting stabbed everywhere, so you're like, I feel it. Like, that hurts. Like, I'm dying. Like, you know. But you get stabbed in the face. It's like, yo, your time is thin. You know, you're getting stabbed on the sides here and there. Yeah, they might hit an artery or they might hit something wrong. You know, if they go for the heart, you're definitely gone. But there's that chance of survival. You get stabbed in the face. It's like, really, dude? The one thing that I kind of need, you're taking from me? And as soon as it went through his eye, I'm like, nah, you're gone. There ain't no surviving that. There ain't
Yeah.
no surviving that.
Um, I was supposed to get it before we got started, but who did you think it was gonna be? How many people did you think it was gonna be?
I thought it was going to be two killers. Um, and I thought for a while I didn't want to believe it. But then I kind of thought it was gonna. Well, a part of me, as I said before, I thought I got it wrong, but no, in a way, at first I didn't. It's like the Virgin. I'm like, it's not gonna be the Virgin. Like it's not, you know. But then when he wasn't there when they first all got attacked, it put a bad taste in my mouth. And then he was like, then he tells Chad like, oh I promise you, I was at study, like I was a study. I have people to back it up, and Chad just goes like, okay, like no 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 no. I would have been like, bitch, bring every person that can account for you being there. I want to hear eyewitness testimony. I want to run the cameras back. I better see you at study hall or wherever the fuck you're saying you were. And that's when I was kind of like, yeah, that's a bit shady. And so that was kind of in my head. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe him, and then I thought it was going to be like a legacy character behind the mask of the other one. I thought it was going to be like one new, one old, and I was like, okay, I kind of vibe. And I was wrong, but at the same time, that's trademark, bitches. So if y'all use that for the next installment, that was me and Franco's idea. That's Friday the 14th. I'm tagging that right now. Y'all can't just take that shit. But
I think a lot of people really wanted it to be Stu.
that's what I
Like
wanted it. That's what I
they
kept saying. Like it's gonna be Stu. It's gonna be Stu.
they
But
set it up perfectly. Like even in part 5, they set it up where perfectly for Stu, and
mhm.
they just blue balled you where it wasn't Stu. And then this one, like they lined it up perfectly, where it's like, oh shit, it's gonna be Stu. Even his mask was missing towards the ending, and
Yep.
it's like, yo, like it's gonna be Stu. And even in my head, I'm like, yo, if it's not, I'm gonna cry, and I
And
cried.
then when they had that conversation too, like, oh, but Stu died. And then Mindy goes, yeah, but did he? You know, it kind of gave you more like, oh shit. Like, it's for sure. It's going to be Stu. We're going to get fucking Matthew Lillard. But no, they fucking blue bombed the shit out of fucking. fucking Matthew Lillard, the same way Warner Brothers fucking fucked him over and had Will Forte do the voice of him on Scoob, do the voice of Shaggy in that fucking Scoob movie. Will Forte, I like you, but you are a piece of shit when it comes to voice acting for Shaggy. So yeah, man, I almost choked getting that right now. I almost got. I love Matthew Lillard. He deserved to
Uh,
be in this film.
but you thought it was gonna be Stu and Ethan, is it?
Wasn't it me?
I think it's
Discount Evan Peters.
yeah, this kind of Peters.
Uh, it's
Yeah,
Ethan.
Ethan,
Yeah, Ethan Landry.
even Landry. But
Ethan Landry.
I thought it was gonna be Stu as well and Shad because Shad is the nephew
No.
of Randy. I was like, it makes sense for him to get the nephew, and it'd be them too. And I think I was so glad it wasn't Shad because I grew to like him.
Yeah, I really like Chad. Uh,
But like just
I
the way
like
they kept
Chad
building
more.
it up, where it's the always the love interest, and he was finally starting to get feelings for Tara and everything. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This is all of a sudden.
Yeah, the whole like I was saying that too. My fiance's like, how do you feel about them? Because my fiance is one of those people that all they got to do is flirt with each other once in the movie, and she's like, I ship them, and I'm like, dude, chill out. And she's like, but they're kind of cute. I'm like, this is random as fuck. Like in part 5, there was no like, I kind of like Chad. I kind of want to be, and then in this one, it's like, hey, we're in the same bed. I got a boner. I want to kiss you. You know, it's just kind of like, where is this coming from? And why does this need to be a thing? I kind of like that they're all friends. I'm like, what the fuck are they pushing here? Um, so I'm glad it wasn't Chad, but at the same time, dude, I need to stab myself a few times because I don't understand, dude. I thought I knew true crime, and I thought that stab wounds do a lot more, but in the Scream universe, they obviously don't do shit. And I just gotta figure out like
This
what type of adrenaline I need to take in order to
let's talk about
fucking.
that scene. This motherfucker. This was an iconic scene, honestly, as
Yes,
well.
it's good. It's good.
Both Ghostface are chasing after him, and he gets up and like he's getting stabbed by Ghostface multiple
Yes.
times. Like we probably lost count if we're counting.
Yes.
And then
They're going at it.
he ends up living. They say that he's alive.
Like, and then another thing that's so clean is after they stab him, they both stop. They both at the same time with their knives, and I was like, well, because first it's one, and he's like, run, and I'm like, and then the second one, and then you're like, oh, and that scene just like had me like, ah, and then fucking
Sorry, my dog.
yeah, they do the whole, but there's no fucking way this fucker survived that, dude. There's no way.
Yeah,
I don't.
that scene was really good. I enjoyed it, and I was like, man, since they killed off Shad, they made him go like a beast, and then just for him to stay alive. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like that was a good kill for him to go out with.
Yeah, it was. Because what are you gonna do now in another movie if they decide to kill him? You're gonna top that? How the fuck are you gonna top that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
Like,
I enjoyed that scene as well. How'd you feel about the reveal?
I thought the reveal was like, again, it had me believing it was Kirby, and I'm like, what the fuck, Kirby? Why haven't you just opened your mouth and swallowed everybody? But then it was like, yeah, that's a different Kirby. No, and I thought like, uh, I thought yeah. So the reveal when it all comes down that they're like it's three of them really. What like the third one is just the officer. And my fiance had guessed that early in the film. She's like, I think it's the cop, and I'm like, I don't really think it is. And then when it was, I was like, fuck. And she's like, I got it right. I'm like, okay, shut up. We get it. You're so good at this. Well, guess what? The movie buff in the film, she gets it wrong too. Like whenever Minnie gets stabbed by Ethan in the subway, and then she's laying there, and she's like, fuck this franchise. Like I thought that was like so funny, but no, the
She got
reveal
stabbed by
really,
Quinn in there.
huh?
She got stabbed by
Yes, yeah. She goes, it's not because he's like in there just looking.
Sorry,
Again,
we the three killers were just so people aren't like confused.
yeah,
Quinn, Ethan, and the officer. I forgot his name.
yeah,
It was the motive was
Detective Bailey.
Detective Bailey. The motive was that he is Richie's dad from Part 5, and those are the siblings as well, and they wanted revenge.
Yes.
But continue.
Yes, so yeah, the siblings are mad because Richie was killed, and the dad is going through great lengths to kill the people who killed his son, who was a fucking psychopath. So really, I just don't understand why you're mad about that. It's like if somebody shot up a fucking school, and then some good bystander killed them, and then the family came for the guy that killed the person shooting at the school. It's like, bitch, no, that's a hero. Your fucking kid was crazy. Um, and that goes to all school shooters out there. I'm just putting it out there. Um, uh, but like for them to be like, and I get it, it's your son, but at the same time, dude, your son was a trip. Being a detective, you should have been more in his fucking life, so he wasn't making decisions like that. But no, I thought that reveal was kind of crazy how they were all brothers, and then you find out that Ethan is an incel because he said it. He come on, he's like, "Hey, come on, it's perfect. It's the alpha. I got what is it called? Dorm room lottery. I get the alpha, and his name's Chad." And I was like, "Wait, this is also the virgin." I was like, "Okay, I see where they're going." They're like, this is an incel, and even the dad goes like, "In today's society, you can't just ruin a person. You have to like ruin their reputation or like their defame their character first." And that's what they were doing with Sam. They were
Hmm.
making Sam in this movie to be like a monster. They were trying to point to her maybe being the Ghostface killer. I felt bad for Sam in this movie. Uh, I felt real bad for her. And then when her and Tara had that fight, I wanted to slap the shit out of Tara. A part of me was like, I hope you fucking die. Like you're being fucking rude. Okay, like I don't I get wanting to move on with your life. I understand that, but I just dude, I feel like my defenses would be up. Like I mean, I got into an accident in 2020, a car accident. To this day, I'm still dealing with some of that trauma to where certain things like I don't like to be out at certain times. I'm like, no, we got to cut it early because we were in an accident, and I'm still dealing with that trauma, and it's 2023. You know, I'm slowly like getting over it. But this motherfucker had been like what 6 months, and she's just like, we got to move on and live our lives. I'm like, bitch, what? Like, no. No, I'm sorry, but if Ghostface is always out there and Courtney Cox tries to tell him, you know, Gail Weathers is like trying to tell him that, hey, you know, they don't stop. You won't stop. And Jenna Ortega's like, I just want to live my life and I want to get, you know, I want to go bump uglies with date rape Frankie upstairs. You know, it's just like, dude. And it's Sam, it's all sad. And then they play a Billie Eilish song for less than 3 seconds, which made no sense. But they did it to like drive emotion. And I'm like, for 3 seconds? Come on. Um, but yeah, dude, crazy. That reveal was, I thought it was good.
I didn't like the reveal. Or I didn't like the people. The reasoning made sense. I was just
Yeah,
upset. I was like, this is dumb. Give us Matthew the litter back. Give us Stu.
that's what kind of bothered me because after Ethan takes off his mask, I'm like, the next one's gonna be Stu, and then it's the sister, and I'm like, really, you're the slut? Because that's what Mindy calls her, slut. She's like, I prefer sex positive. I'm like, if Mindy called you a slut, you're a slut. Um, and then like, and then it's like her. I'm like, her? Like she was the other kid? I was like, really? That's so that yeah. So I thought it was cool because it's three, you know. And then you said, oh, it's connected to the last one, but I kind of agree with you on that whole like it being uh both of them. It's just I don't feel like I had enough time to sit with some of these characters. The detective, we get the whole movie with him,
Hmm.
you know. But then like his little side henchmen who are just out there slaying people together, all good at shooting guns. Um, so yeah, well, you look at there you go. The dad was taught them at a young age. I guess Richie was just like, I don't want to use guns, Dad. I want to be a filmmaker. I think it's perfectly normal, Dad, if I order, you know, the clothing worn by these people that were slaughtered, and no part of the dad was like, yeah, that's yes and no. That's not coming in our fucking house. Like the dad was fucking, and he was a detective on top of that. Imagine that you can't even trust the fucking law enforcement because the detective himself is out there trying to fucking kill people for killing this crazy kid.
What do you think about the shrine?
I thought that was pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was really cool. But then
That-
the collector in me was like, I want that stab box set. I was like, I
but
want
yeah,
that. I want the artwork too. Like there was drawings of each one. I was like, I fucking want that. Um,
I was like, I want that in my house, like the entire thing,
yes,
all the
dude. The
masks,
the
all the rope,
the
everything.
phones, the fucking TV, the. Now, this is memorabilia, people. I'm not saying I want. It's not like I'm going and looking up the victims of Richard Ramirez and being like, oh, I want the shirt they were wearing when they were stabbed in the middle of the night at the house. No, that's not. This is memorabilia that I'm talking about, and I wanted everything in the fucking room. I was like, this is a nice ass shrine for the dad to just like keep here to get all kind of. Well, no, it's fucked up. It was a fucked up shrine, but it was cool from a fan perspective. Still, yeah, definitely. That. Then he had pictures of Dewey, fucking the drawings of Dewey, and I'm like, oh, you fucker.
Um, let's talk about the subway scene. They're in New York, so
Want to
of
eat
course
fresh?
they of course had a subway scene in New York.
Yeah.
Um, you like all the costumes they're wearing? You know, all
Yes, we
Ghostface,
have. We got Hellraiser. We got Chucky. We got
Michael Myers,
Michael Myers. You got Jason.
and then
Um,
your favorite one. We had a callback from Part 5, the Babadook.
oh, really? Somebody was the Babadook? Thank God I didn't see that because I would have knocked off the machete. No, I'm just kidding. No, dude. Mojo Jojo. Somebody was just like Mojo
Yeah,
Jojo. Yeah,
I
that was
pointed out.
funny.
I
I
pointed
was
out
like,
the different in the theater.
yeah, I told Caitlin, I'm like, hey, dude, that was Mojo Jojo. She's like, where? I was like, it's gone now. And it's fucking Mojo Jojo. That was cool. I was like, yeah,
You
that
didn't see
that
the cap of
person.
his cap.
Yeah, you see, I was having the cape, and I was like, that's Mojo Jojo. Like, that's fucking really cool. But yeah, the costumes were that was really dope. Like, all the callbacks, like you have Kruger, and I just think it was real nice to see those. Oh, there's a few Pennywises. I think one was just like Georgie. Somebody was just like Georgie too. They had the balloon. Um, I think that's really cool. I like when horror movies pay homage to other movies before them in some way, shape, or form, and this movie definitely did it.
The opening
Um,
scene also had Jason Takes Manhattan playing in the
yes, they're watching it. He's watching it on the TV. I was gonna mention that earlier. So I thought that was really cool to see that. Um, but yeah. So the subway scene. How do you feel about it?
um. I guess we can talk about the scene like a couple scenes prior. I think it was like right before it. Whenever they're all together trying to figure out who it is at the college.
Yeah.
She breaks
Yes.
down that we're now in a franchise apparently because all the Scream movies are about different stereotypes, I guess,
Yes.
and they all point to the new people, and then like maybe it could be I keep forgetting his name, Ethan.
Even.
But he was saying like, oh, like why would I be it whenever I didn't select the dorm? It's like, well, you could have rigged it, and
Yeah.
then they point at Quinn as well, and whatnot, and you can see them both like react, and then they point out like, why wouldn't it be one of the new people or one of the old people? Like, oh, because we're the core four, whatever the hell they say, and
Yeah.
whatnot. But yeah, they're pointing out and everything, and since then, Mindy starts being weary of keep forgetting his name. Damn it, Ethan.
Yes.
And so they get on the subway. Everybody goes together except for Mindy and Ethan. They get trapped, and they have to go to the next subway, so they're alone. And yeah, the whole scene's basically what?
You know what almost made me think that Chad was up to something? Is they ask, where's Mindy? Oh, she's on the other train with Ethan. But Mindy had not texted Chad that she was on the train with him yet. If you pay attention to the messages, she had just sent that. Like, so he answered, and I was kind of like, what? I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. So I don't know if that was like a mistake in the movie, but it kind of like, for a while, it kind of like, wait, is Chad did something? Like, what the fuck? So it was probably to throw off the, like, who could be the killer. But yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt. My bad.
I really wanted it to be Shad. But anyways, yeah, it's them two in the subway, whole bunch of ghost faces in it, and she pretty much gets stabbed in the back corner. No one even sees her getting stabbed, which I think
I
is
know.
bullshit for some reason. Like I don't think.
I thought about that for a second, but then I've seen videos of people in New York, doing crazy shit on subway trains, and people do not look, bro. Like these are like actual recorded videos. Like New Yorkers, I've heard like people that have gone to New York. They said, dude, New Yorkers are fucking rude. They do not give two shits about you. They will look away. And I've actually seen like subway footage of people getting knocked out. I mean, not too long ago, a guy was pushed into the subway tracks, and nobody batted an eye. You know, it's just like, so part of me was like, yeah, that kind of feels like New York too. It's kind of like, it's not my problem. Like that's not, no, don't get involved in that, which is crazy because that wouldn't happen in the great state of Texas. But we're very kind here, of course.
I say Scream 7 comes Texas.
Yeah, well, also, I don't think it would last because a lot of people carry. So it's like, oh, a dude wielding a knife. That's great. Cool.
I
Honey,
mean, he did
you
have
know,
have a shotgun in this one.
yeah, but a shotgun versus a bunch of people with like handhelds? You're gonna shoot everybody in a corner store? No. but 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 yeah, dude. I'm growing to like I like Minnie's character a lot. I like that she's the somewhat comedic relief. She also says too, like, now that we're a franchise, fuck the legacy characters. Anybody can die. And then she mentions like, look at Luke Skywalker, look at Tony Stark, and I'm like, really? Really? You're gonna bring up Tony Stark right now? And then she's like, they had to be killed off in order to continue the franchise, to keep the franchise going. And I was kind of like, oh, so Gail and Sydney, they're now open bait. And I'm like, oh fuck. Um, you know what scene I liked? When Gail is trying to interview Sam, and she gets pissed and swings at her, and she dodges it. And she's like, oh, I've been there before. But then Tara to fucking smacks her. I was like, first of all, cool ass dodge from Gail. I was like, okay, I feel it. But then the fucking Tara coming, I was like, okay, I vibe. And then yes, it was very asshole of fucking Gail to write a fucking story. But that's who Gail Weathers is. She's like that character that you love and hate. And then like even with her thing, whenever Ghostface is telling her, like, I really thought it would be you. Like, it would make so much more sense for the story. Like, think about it. Like, Sydney's doing this, Dewey's doing that. Gail needs her story. The way it's kind of explaining, I thought that was a really cool scene too. The whole Gail versus Ghostface scene was dope.
How do you feel about all the deaths? Do you think they needed more or less, or the right amount?
To me, okay. You remember a lot of people when they saw Halloween Kills, like right off the bat, Michael Myers is taking on a whole fleet of fucking firefighters. Like nobody was safe in that movie. He was killing left and right. But for me, I was like I was excited. And I think this film, like I love to see death, but again, a lot of times like in the case of the Terrifier, where you throw away story to show more gore, I prefer there to be a balance sometimes. And for this film, I feel like that balance was there. Although, again, I would have loved to see more deaths. And again, the fucking core four are still the fucking core four, man. It's like you really had us believing that. Of course, I don't want Chad to die. Chad's a cool dude. But still, for this movie, to survive that many knife wounds, I mean, come on, bro. What are these kids drinking or eating? Are they on... That's what this is. Okay, now to our sponsor, Logan Paul, and KSI to talk about Prime Energy.
You're not about Prime.
Huh? Right. If we actually got sponsored by Logan Paul, I'd probably be like, whoa, this is random as fuck, thank you. That man got some bag, so but yeah, dude.
I think a sponsorship with him would be Pokemon cards only.
Oh shit. Wow. There you go. But yeah, I'm still kind of on that whole, like I think I would at least think that one of the core four would die in this film, but I think they're gonna save it for because neither of them die. Mindy gets stabbed, so she's not dead. Chad gets stabbed multiple times and still survives. So I'm sorry, but for this next film, you're gonna have to kill either Sam or Tara. It has to be done. The writers, they did it to themselves. We just cannot have them continue to be like, oh. So, yeah, I'm also mad because the Core 4 was actually a nickname that me and my friend Tomas, John, and Juan gave each other when we were in high school. We would call the Core Four and the Core Four Horsemen, and I actually still have a Facebook group from where we're named that, and I could pull it up. So when I heard that shit, I was like, "Really, you copyright fuckers? All right, I see it." But but yeah, man, it's
I
a
I think it had the right amount of deaths. It's just that or kill scenes, but like Gail Weathers, they played it where she's about to die. They could have just let her die. Like there's no reason for her to come back in part 7. No reason whatsoever. Unless you're gonna have her
we don't we
have a
don't
happy ending and just leave. That's it, like Sydney. But we don't need her in
yeah.
part 7.
That's what I'm saying. This okay. Here's the thing that scares me is like, I feel like the people that brought back the franchise that were like, we're gonna go ahead and do a Scream 5. It was one of those like scenarios where they didn't think that these movies could carry themselves without there being a big name behind it. So it's like nobody's gonna come see Scream 5 if we don't have Dewey, Sidney, and Gale in it, you know. So then, but for this film, it was like, no, we've kind of cemented the core four. We like these characters. We don't need Gel again. Like we just kind of we don't need Gel. So she could have died. You know, like I liked her last line too. Tell Sydney that he didn't get me. It's like, dude, that's the you're giving these people perfect lines and then you're not killing them. It's like you're ruining any chance there was of like making a statement and it's just gone. You ruined it. So yeah, I feel like this the
And then
film it could have.
with her dying, it's perfect reason to have Sydney come back in case they do give her the bag.
Yes, exactly. It gives motive. You just gave motive for her to be like, oh fuck this, you know. And instead it's like, no, we're just gonna fucking act like we were gonna do that. LOL, just kidding.
Like
Gail Weathers is still alive.
she could have died. Mindy got stabbed a couple times. I don't think she could have died. So I'm glad she didn't die. I like her as the comedy
Yeah,
relief, along with
yeah,
she has the perfect balance of being a Randy.
yes. Like
And
she's like a reincarnation of Jamie Kennedy, but at the same time she's her own character.
yeah,
So I like Mindy. I think she's dope as fuck. I don't have a problem with her character.
but I think Shad should have died. He got stabbed
Yeah,
multiple
yeah.
times by
As,
two
as,
ghost
as sad
priests.
as it is, as sad as it is, and I think that's what this movie kind of lacked. It lacked in giving that kill, like Dewey's kill in the fifth movie.
Mhm.
You know, you're like, oh fuck, you know, and because nobody died, it didn't give me that feel, and I was just like, okay, missed opportunity. So go ahead.
I do hope that if they do make part 7, which I'm pretty sure they are, everybody's saying that they want Sam to fully turn as the killer.
Because it seemed
But
like that's where it was going at the end of the movie.
yeah, she didn't keep the fucking mask, which is stupid as fuck. But
Yeah,
it made for a
understandably.
cool like cinematography scene. But
Yeah,
I really hope they either have Tara become the killer, or have them both become the killer,
like that, bro.
like that, like part 7. And I think on Monday the Cinema podcast are talking about I think it was Juan who said one of them said, but I'm pretty sure it was Juan said to have it be Tara Jenna Ortega, and then it'd be the first time that the killer doesn't die and have her come back for a part 8. Like it looks like she's dead, but then like they give us like a little Mike Myers,
Okay.
Jason. They always come back shit.
Or they could do where Sam does live up to her serial killer tendencies and collabs with Stu. Think about it. Maybe she wants to know more about her dad.
Hmm.
You know, like who he was because I'm fighting these urges. You know, gets in contact with Stu, who we think is dead, and he kind of like convinces her to like, you know, carry the legacy. We can continue this. We can do this. You know what I mean? And so
And
them
that'll
two
be
become the.
perfect reason to bring back Sydney
Yep.
and have him
Yeah.
finally kill Sydney. Then they
Yep.
both finally die, and then
Yep.
maybe Tara kills Sam.
Yes, so you got Tara killing Sam and Sydney killing Sydney and Stu kill each other in the process. So Sydney still dies, but it's one of those where it's like her death it came at a cost. Like she had to save everybody, she was gonna die in the process. And yeah, you have Tara kill Sam. Boom, boom, boom. Because if we go into Scream 9, then you better bring in Vin Diesel. All right, you better
That's what
bring
I
in the
was thinking
Fast
as well.
franchise. That's where you're headed. Once you hit that 9 mark, we better see family. All right. Yeah.
Ed from the same podcast was saying you're gonna be seeing Vin Diesel ride in on his car like going off a ramp and everything, having the fucking knife out the window. That'd make an iconic scene,
fucking
honestly.
fucking drifting.
You give us that for part nine.
Shit,
That's
dude.
all I want.
Yeah, dude. This is what we need. We need that crossover.
Cross it over with Jurassic World as well. Make it all three,
Yeah, yeah,
and then throw in Scooby Doo for the fuck of it as well.
yeah. We just randomly just like Scooby makes an appearance,
Yeah.
just like row. Like that's it. Like that. That's the only thing you need. Or randomly kill Velma while she's looking for her glasses.
Be hilarious. But anything else you want to talk about the movie?
um, I think I was gonna bring up a point that reminded me of another film that it just completely slipped my mind, and it's kind of been like lingering in the back of my head. I do not remember it. All in all, though, I thoroughly like enjoyed this movie. Usually I have trouble, like even if it's fresh in my head, I have trouble like remembering certain things in a movie. But I feel like this one kind of stuck with me to where I remembered a lot of it. I really did enjoy it. I thought this movie was great. It brought the killing, but excuse me, every idea we've thrown for where it went wrong is stuff that can be worked on. It can be fixed,
Hmm.
and I really think that in order to make another film, bringing Stu back is a good idea, and having Sam carry her father's legacy is a good idea. So then we get the Sydney to return and die, and we can get Tara to kill Sam, as hard as it may be. So heartstrings are pulled in both directions. We get these new guys, your heart's hurt. You get the legacy characters, your heart's hurt.
So, okay, well, like I was saying earlier, every Scream movie makes fun of a trope, pretty much. Talks about a trope.
Yeah, yeah,
Scream 1 was about horror movie tropes in general. Scream 2 was about horror sequels. Scream 3 was about um what was that one? That was that one about trilogies, and also rewrites and because of things leaking at the time.
yeah. So that's cool.
Part 4 was about reboots. Part 5 was about reboot sequels, prequels.
Requels, yeah.
Part 6 now was about franchises.
Franchise.
What's next for Part 7?
It would if it was like if we look at okay, we're at Scream 6, 7. If we close it off with Scream 7, then it has to be about like ending a franchise or like closing off a fan base or finally like coming to an end. And then you can mention how there's no more, the end of Friday the 13th, the end of Nightmare on Elm Street, the end of
Would it be the
of
final Scream?
yeah, like you would have to go there. You know what I mean? Like how every franchise eventually has to just you know put itself at is because you've exhausted everything that you could have done with the franchise. You've done the sequels, the trilogies, the requels, the you know what I mean. Like by then it's like let it let it die. It's had a great run. Let's not overstay our visit, or and that's what it could be about. Ending a franchise, closing off a franchise.
I had something else in my head, but I forgot what I was gonna be about. I forgot.
It's just a bunch of tacos.
Happens to the best of us. But if you want to do taglines, the tagline for this movie was "New York, New Rules."
That's really good.
Um, I didn't like it. That was so basic.
Yeah, it's basic, but it's like I don't
The,
know. Like for some reason, taglines aren't like Hollywood's like avoiding them now.
from the trailer, I was so upset that the line wasn't in it, which was "I'm something different."
Oh,
That wasn't in the movie at all. But yeah, I would put "I'm built different."
damn, Bill. Exactly. I'm about that life,
About that life.
dude. It'd be like that's yeah,
Big Apple, bigger kills.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait, did they call it New York? No, they call it Vegas. Where's the city that never sleeps?
Vegas.
Vegas. Okay, yeah. Well,
Man, Part 7.
I get
Imagine
that.
that one in Vegas.
Yeah, it's like the city that never sleeps. That's the slogan.
The
And then
city that
Freddy
never
Krueger comes
screams.
out. Then Freddy comes out.
Um, I don't know, man. Since Wes Craven passed away, like, don't listen to anything to that, but Scream have been, they've been focusing on the kills more.
Yeah,
Because I feel like Wes Craven is more focused on the meta comedy side.
yeah.
You have a mug of Scream.
They have a mug.
No, is that what you have?
Yeah, I was pulling him off.
Oh,
I'm
here you
sorry.
go.
I was pulling off a little figure. 'Cause you can take him off of that, and then you can take him off this little stand too.
That's pretty
So
cool.
it's like, yeah, dude, it does.
I bet you they're sold out already.
Just go with the gun. Just be like, check the back, sir. We don't have. Check the fucking back.
Check the back. But yeah, that's taglines. And anything else you want to talk about before we close off the chapter of Scream?
I want to say it's been a fun ride, and I really enjoyed this film. Definitely to me, you know what? It's even worth a theater watch in my opinion. It's if you want to spend your money and you're like, I don't know, tickets cost a lot of money. I would say for this film, it's well worth. I didn't walk out of the theater disappointed with the money I had spent.
Kind of want to watch it again.
Yeah, so do I now.
I'm seeing if there's any showings right now.
I want to, but at the same time, Shazam comes out, so I'm like, sorry.
It's just that ain't gonna be as good, is it?
I'm not saying that Shazam's gonna be great, but I still want to watch Shazam. So it's like, um, I sat there in a movie yesterday that I thought was just like mediocre. It was kind of okay, and it just came out the same day he screamed in that movie 65 with Adam Driver because I love Adam
Oh,
Driver.
the guy from
Star Wars.
yeah, there you go, Star Wars.
Yeah, Ben Solo, Kylo Ren. He should be the next Ghostface. I
He
know what
should.
I have to do, but I don't think I have the strength to do it.
I think Jenna Ortega should be the next Ghostface.
He'd be kind of short, little short king.
I bet you she can still kill Dewey.
Watch her tripping over the gown in every scene.
That's rude. That's rude.
I'm a short king, bro. I can say whatever I want.
Before we close out, the next movie review is next week, March 22nd, and it's top 5 '90s horror movies. Me and Manny are going to list our top 5 horror movies from 1990. Might be a quick episode, might not be an hour. I don't know. Depends what we got to say about that movie. But yeah. And after that, we got March 29th. That will be The Barbarian, which is on HBO Max, I believe. And then we have April set to go. April 5th will be The Menu, which is on HBO Max as well. Followed by April 12th, which will be our another top 5. It'll be our top 5 Scream King/Queen. And then April 19th will be a new theater movie, horror comedy Renfield. Rainfield.
Yeah,
Followed by April 26th, which will be another new movie as well, and it'll be Evil Dead Rise.
yeah. So excited for that film,
Back
man.
to back in April for new horror movies.
We're ready. We're out here to bring y'all the crisp, beautiful taste of horror and our takes on it too.
I don't know when Juan's coming back. Juan was supposed to come back today, but some stuff happened. So it might be us for the foreseeable future again, still.
Yeah.
Juan, come back whenever. Nick's always welcome on, of course, but as of right now, it's us two for Friday the 14th. With that, thank y'all for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll catch y'all
Thank you.
guys on the
Thank
next
you.
one. Peace,
Yes.
love,
Peace.
tacos.
Tacos.